let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Hello. This is Krista Strom for 3DOr2D.com, and today I have an Angry Birds review for you.
Red, I know we've had our differences. Drop the egg. What are you gonna do? I'm a foodie. But we're all in danger. And here's the scary part. We need to work together.
Are you kidding me?
Get ready for the team-up no one saw coming. The Angry Birds Movie 2, rated PG.
Now, this film is a 3D animated film, but personally, I'm not a huge fan of the visual style in Angry Birds. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but I just don't really think it looks that great. And so, because I don't really like the visual style, it's hard for me to get into the 3D aspect of it. That's why I'm giving this movie a weak 3D score. That doesn't mean the 3D is bad necessarily, it's just not really worth paying a premium for. Before watching this film, I wasn't really excited for the Angry Birds 2 movie. If you listen to the podcast, you might have heard us hating on this movie a bit before. But it turns out this is actually a surprisingly good movie. The plot of Angry Birds 2 revolves around the pigs and the birds coming together to save themselves from an even bigger common enemy, the eagles. The eagles are led by the extravagant eagle Zeta. Red feels insecure about the truce with the pigs, and he doesn't want to lose his hero status in the eyes of the other birds. As a result, he kind of comes into conflict with Chuck's genius sister Silver. And Silver is now part of the main cast. There's also like a side plot with Mighty Eagle being distressed at the prospect of going to Eagle Island, and another side plot with these hatchlings. The first movie, the writing is really tight, and it's the same with this one. The writing is tight and crisp, and it sounds kind of crazy to say, but what I like about the Angry Birds films is their characterization. Like, they're actually very good at portraying not deep characters. They're not super nuanced or anything, but the characters' motivations are all very clear, and we know what these characters are about. You know, Red, we know he's afraid of being alone. He doesn't want to be alone, you know. Zeta, within like the first 2 minutes of meeting her, we know exactly who she is as a character and what she wants. You know, all these characters have like very clear functions in the story, and that's what makes it a strong story. It's also pretty funny. I'd even say it's funnier than the previous film, because at times the previous film kind of annoyed me I thought some of the jokes ran for too long and some of the bits were kind of gross. Which isn't to say there isn't gross bits in this one, but it didn't annoy me as much as it did in the previous one. I think overall is slightly better written comedy-wise. Of course, that doesn't mean like it's the best film ever or anything. It's still, you know, kind of a dumb movie. It's still aimed at the lowest common denominator, in a sense. Like, it really hits certain plot points. It really hits you over the head with certain plot points, because it just, like things that should be subtext are very, very explicit, because it doesn't want you to miss. It just hammers over the head like certain plot points, which can be funny, but it has its downsides too. But overall, I like the movie, and I'm willing to give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!
Alright, before this podcast ends, I want to give a thank you to my patrons. Right now, we have one patron, which is David from Spain, and I want to thank you for your financial support.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this podcast.
We now have a Patreon, and the link is in the description. Thanks for watching.
And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They don't put it everywhere. Just look for us, 3D or 2D.
And of course, review us on iTunes. And if you want to write us a letter, our email address is email3d or 2d@gmail.com. So that's going to be it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.